Thankfully, no cars would hit you in 4, 2, 1, 4, 3. Fuji once stood for something I respected. They were the underdog, the dark horse, if you will, of our community, and I liked the color science. They were doing things that no other company could. That's a lie. Let's talk about why I sold them, and we'll never step on their grave unless I'm...
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Alright, I'm gambling everything here today. We turned Stabe off, and we're going Catalyst Browse. I want to see how long it takes to stabilize this thing. I'll post it right here. That's how long it took me to render this. Is it a doable option? This has been fun times. The plot twist for you. Not only am I still waiting an hour and 11 minutes, it would have been 55 minutes, but at the very end, Sony decided to fail. Oops, we failed the render, sorry. And we deleted your file, by the way. Did you need that? Thankfully, I didn't delete it off the camera yet, because usually I do. So I had to re-download it. Now we're trying a second chance. Anytime now, Sony. Anytime. But I'll be honest with you, it looked pretty glorious. It was pretty stable. Not bad. It just takes forever. So if you're doing daily videos, no way. We have full colors. Even though they're being ruined right now by Sony color science, it's nothing to complain about. So I wrote down a bunch of things to talk about in the whole Fuji system of life, and if you're a Fuji shooter, relax. I ain't throwing ninja darts at you, just hold on. Fuji's a great system. It looks nice. If you take control and you really you're manually focusing, for the cost, even the XS10, it's you're getting good stuff here. Just relax. Let's not kill each other. So the moment I realized Fuji was the worst of all camera companies, it was the moment in my living room where I sat before you in sunglasses and the autofocus was hunting. It was the first video I've ever made where the whole video was just complete unwatchability. I was like, man, I was already debating. So the first reason I ended up selling the Fuji X-T4 was the unreliable autofocus. Oh, there's a horse. Oh no, there's horses. Oh, Sony, you piece of shit, 20 mil, I could have zoomed on him. Ah, that hurts. Oh, the cinema could have been ours. How's the Stabe if we really pick it up a notch? How's that doing, Catalyst Browse? You doing it? Good for you. So, autofocus, I couldn't trust it, and since the day I got it, it was almost like that parent who has a really just useless kid, and they're like, I love you, son, he's the best. I got the best kid in the world. It's like, no, he really sucks at everything he tries. You're blind, you got a blind eye. It's like, I wanted to love the Fuji X-T4 for the colors, the dynamic range, super slow-mo. I loved that thing, but every video I made, it's hunting autofocus. The least reliable thing I've ever had. Panasonic is more reliable. That hurts. That hurts to say it. Let's not forget, I had a Panasonic G85. I was fine, but I wanted better autofocus. That's the only real reason to upgrade, and you weren't giving it to me, Fuji. The next reason to sell a Fuji camera is the usability. I tell you, for photographers, I understand. Everybody's like, oh, Fuji's so much fun to use. I get that comment a lot. It's like, yeah, you're tweaking your dials. You can't do that for video. No one's tweaking dials. Once you have your settings, you're done. And then you go film something. So there's no fun to be had. Those dials are useless in every sense of the word. And so, there's no custom modes. The using of the camera for video, not great. My good old buddy Ken Wheeler, angry photographer, he loves Fuji. So, he's wrong then. Do you see him shoot a lot of video with his Fuji cameras? No, you don't. They're a photographer-first system. Be real with yourself. And even then, I tell you, most of my shots, I took the odd photo, mostly just to sell my gear, to sell the generous gifts that Flatter sent us. I'm so sorry. Why am I praying to God? Who's that? Alright. Missing focus all the time. If something's wrong with Fuji, I had to take manually focus into my life. We're at Tony 2.5, by the way. He's showing so much discipline right now. As I was debating other reasons, should I keep this thing? I like the image, it's a nice camera. Where's my Kaizen updates? When I first got into the Fuji system, they were known for updating their cameras with these huge firmwares. Years after, it's like you have this brand new camera. It's like, that's why you buy into Fuji. The light was too harsh, but he turned. Where are they? Not one update. Like, they fixed a couple of, like, the exposure stepping, thank you. But, like, nothing else was fixed. Oh, that's blinding. Ironically, Panasonic, the S1, I sold that thing, and then, like, I think 3 good major firmware updates later, and it's like the best camera on earth. Oh man, the regret lives in my heart, and it stays there, just feeding off my soul. So it's like they abandoned that whole camera, the X-T4. They didn't put the same love into it that they did all their other cameras, because it was a video hybrid, and they're photographers, and they wanted to do it to hurt us, video shooters. That's why they made the camera, to hurt vloggers. As we talked about in that last video, you want to pick your lens first. You want to see a lens like, wow, I'm so inspired. If I had that lens, you buy that lens and then you pick the system. You have to be excited about the lenses first. And Fuji, I don't know, man. Their lenses, like, they have some okay ones, but most of their lenses are not good at video autofocus. They're loud, they're angry, and their lineup is like all repeating old lenses that weren't good. But none of the wide, where's my wide primes? You only have a Samyang 12mm Tony 2. Replicate that thing and make it better with not green skin. They have some okay lenses for video, but it's like the 16 to 55. The thing's huge. It's a Tony 2.8. Give me a break. It's like it's heavier than most full frame glass. Just as expensive, if not more so. I don't know. The future of Fuji is dog shit. The last thing that may surprise you is the color science. I know I go back and forth a little bit. Sometimes I praise something and then I insult it the next video. That's fine. Don't pay attention to that. Fuji colors can be nice comparing to certain things. Like when I had the Panasonic and then I got the Fuji, I was like, oh, I love these colors so much more. Something about the skin tones was better, blacker blacks. But then comparing it to like a Canon, just magenta. Like there was always this purple look to the footage. I don't know, it's weird, like it's very distinct. It's not normal, natural color science. It's weird. They put a hint on it. It's like this filmic thing, and some people love it. At times I like it, but it's not a natural look. Whereas Olympus is like, that's the most natural looking image I've ever seen. Canon, beautiful. Sony, I don't know what this is. I don't really know. What I do know is I could have went Tony 1.8. I could have been doing this, but I saved you from it. You wanted to see what was on the porches, and now you can't. Yes, you can, but now you can't. So it's not like Fuji is terrible. I'll still recommend them to people. You want something budget, like the Fuji XS10, its autofocus is better than the X-T4. So is the X-T3, by the way. I don't know what happened in the 4, but it's ruined. So like you want something cheap, it's like, yeah. And then one of the little budget primes, 16mm 2.8, something like that. I don't know, man. Like Panasonic makes it easy to manual focus. Little tap and boom. It's like Fuji couldn't do that. Couldn't even tap and nothing. It just kept going, even in single autofocus. We're just gonna singly autofocus every second for the rest of eternity. How's that? That's continuous. And don't get me started on those recording limits. 30 minutes. There's been many times I've recorded and then forgot, even though there's a tally light staring at you. I forget about it. I'm not always looking at that light, and once it's on for a while, you forget to see it. And then like, boom, how long was I talking, not even recording? The reality is I just don't have the space for all this gear. When I first got all those wonderful gifts from Flat Earth Santa, it was such a joy to use them all, and I was living by myself. So it didn't matter that I had lenses everywhere, far as the eye could see. And then my girlfriend moved in and things got cluttered, and then I had to sell a desk and everything is different. And I have too much stuff. I don't know where to put it all. So it's like, Fuji, you got to do something for me if I'm going to keep you. And all it did was lie to me. It would lose me. I couldn't rely on the thing. I couldn't take, oh my God. I couldn't take it out and like, okay, let's do a skit here. It's like, it's not gonna do it. So this is my camera. I don't vlog with it much because it's painfully heavy. I would still love to try their medium format one day. And in the future, we'll see what happens with the XH2 or the XT5. Maybe they improve a bunch of stuff, and I would look in that direction again. So I'm not burning any bridges here. Relax. So what do you think? Am I right or what? Fuji users eat goldfish. There was a study on it. Oh, the final reason, I forgot to even mention this. Someone posted this article. I can't say too much about it, so it's just a final note, but Fuji has partnered up with Satan, basically. If you know anything about what's going on right now in the world, things are very confusing, but certain people have a lot of power and they do terrible things while fronting like they're helping humanity. That's one of them. And if Fuji's in with them, I want no part of their system at all. Like, that's a deal breaker until he's executed, which he probably already has been. May he rest in peace. How you doing? I got a text. I'm gonna go. Subscribing. I'm at Tony 2.5. Come on. One pinting. Wow. That's the cinema, my friend. It's not.